Hey guys, so today's a little bit different, actually a lot different than what I usually do, very up close and personal. Still love my tech, but this is not what I do on day to day. I am a registered nurse by trade, but this video is not about my medical knowledge or what I'm used to doing on a daily basis. It's about my personal wants, something that I've been dealing for a very long time. When I was a teenager, young kid, I was always a heavy set, and for someone who's dealt with weight, I'm sure they could recognize that self-limiting, not um, not being part of the kids, a group of people that are all out there doing things. Generally, like me myself, I was limiting myself. Or, for example, a bunch of my friends wanted to go to the beach and stuff like that. I would always second look at myself and see, am I gonna be comfortable getting undressed in front of all the people? But I was envied also a lot of those individuals that like just felt so comfortable within their own skin, and I think that's what's important. Everybody should love the way they are and who they are, which I do. It's just this choice that I'm doing right now for it's more than just a look. It's more for setting myself up for the future. And so when I was a young kid, I was pretty happy until I was 16, and then I found a way to get myself on an appropriate diet, and I went to the gym. I've been going to gym since I was age of 9, so the weight thing has been something that I've been dealing for a while. But at 16, I started losing weight, and then I started going to the gym. And actually, there was a period of my life that I was modeling. I was able to get the body that I wanted. So that all changed when I got into nursing school. Let me show you what I used to be. Let me zoom it in. So this was actually not that long ago, and it didn't take a lot to have that. Um, and I still go to the gym every single day. I have exercise machine here. I have exercise machine here. I have pretty much always had a gym in my house because it constantly required for me to stay active and work out and stay fit. But when I went to nursing school, there's no sleep basically during that period. It's always studying, studying. There's just so much information to learn. And I ended up gaining weight, a lot of weight, a lot of weight. I think I gained like 80 pounds within 1 year, the final year, which was extremely difficult. And then it was like, and then I started working at nights, and that just added extra because when you finish school, nursing school, to get a job as a new nurse was extremely impossible. So working nights, that just added extra to stress, the hormonal changes, working nights and days, just it doesn't trick on your body. Anyway, to cut the long story short, I live in New York, so I started looking into places where to do liposuction. Um, I because there's things that people need to consider versus tummy tuck or liposuction. It all has to do, in my opinion, with the muscle tone. If also it has to do with your BMI. If you're above certain BMI, liposuction is just not generally something that's going to really work beautifully. Like for example, if your BMI 35 and over, liposuction, it'll give you some contouring, but it's not going to give you this perfect images that you usually see on magazines. So originally when I started this process, I was BMI 35, and I chose Sonobello. The reason why I chose Sonobello is because they're popular, and they're also very upfront with how they do things, their pricing, and if you look it up online, the pricing is there. And they have several locations. So there's always someone on call. There's 24/7 number if you look it up. Versus then other local doctors I looked into it. There's a lot of doctors on TikTok that show their procedures and things like that. There was a friend of mine that went to one of local doctors, and that doctor wasn't performing procedure on site. Wanted to perform procedure on the hospital. It didn't wanted to do anesthesia when there was no need for anesthesia, so it just ended up. I looked at the bill. It was just large. It was a huge bill, and don't get me wrong, Sonobello is not cheap. Their pricing is based on BMI, and then but they're very upfront. I like the fact that when I called my first time for a consult, the girl was very upfront. She said, we're dealing with BMI, so your BMI is high, so don't expect those prices to be low. Um, there are some people say that you could bargain with them. There's a yes and no. So with the consultation, the person that I was dealing with, bargaining wasn't, I would say, an option, but I was able to get a certain price that I felt comfortable with. And I just loved how front and honest she was. She was very personal, which is very important because when you're dealing with salespeople, how they like to sell things to you, it just becomes too much. Anyway, so I chose Sonobello. My pricing was pretty high. Uh, Not too high comparing to what I've compared with other people. I'm not gonna say what the price is. If you guys want to know what the price is, just comment below. I decided to do my chin. I decided to reduce my chest because after having muscles, um, it kind of just lost the muscle form. And I also decided to do my whole stomach and my sides. I'm not gonna show you my chest. I will show you my stomach. So, like, and then my chest. I mean, I have to really. I'm sitting down, so there's still a chin, and I mean, I'm in my. I'm almost 38 years old, so I want to keep up that young appearance. I don't want to be in my 20s. I love being in my 30s, but I definitely wanna. I want to age gracefully, which is, like I said, it's my opinion. Everybody should love the way they are, and what it's like being comfortable in your skin is extremely important. And in the world that we live in, where magazines are selling completely false reality, it takes a lot to be that, in my opinion. I mean, I've been around models, I've modeled at one point. Eating is not a luxury, let's just say that. So, anyway, going back to Sonobello. Um, so, I had a consult, and then I spoke about the pricing. The financing is super easy there. They give you several options. Mind in fact, consider that if you're doing financing, there it's a little bit extra. Like if you do, I think care credit, it was like 3% extra. If you do other financing options, like 6% extra. So if you're able to pay it out of pocket, it's always the best, best option. So I had it, and then I believe a little over a week after I had my pre-op appointment. And at my pre-op appointment, I was met with a nurse, very nice. You know, took pictures of me and had to put on the gown that they give you, and I met with the surgeon. So I chose Sonobella Westchester location because the surgeon that works there has good reviews. Now, speaking of reviews, obviously Sonobella has some negative reviews too, but if you start reading about them, it's mostly the reviews are based on, oh, I scheduled my procedure, but I couldn't come in that day, so I had to reschedule it, or I wanted to cancel it, and when I canceling, I couldn't get my whole money back, and if you do consult and you go through, as soon as you go through your pre-op appointment, there is a 2,000 non-refundable money that you will lose. So most of the negative comments were all about the refunds. Some few comments, very few, it's like a small number of people that saying, "Oh, I did the procedure and I don't feel like I see the results." For my studies that I look into it, it takes around 6 months to see almost what this whole lipo procedure was supposed to be for. But there is this things that you have to do after the procedure, like lymphatic drainage. Definitely you want to make sure that the swelling is controlled. You want to wear the compression garment. Some people call it faja. Um, there's steps that you need to follow, and the surgeon and the nurse will definitely guide you to it. You could call them and things like that. There are videos on YouTube that explain more of those procedures. But it's mostly important. It's the procedure itself is very important. This is like, I would say, 60 to 70% of importance. But there's that remaining. It's the aftercare, and it's something that you really need to pay attention to, because if you don't care for yourself afterwards, you won't get the best results. Um, so, and in the meanwhile, there's also the procedures that you have to do prior the surgery. Like yesterday, my migraine was through the roof because you can't consume caffeine 24 hours before the procedure. You can't take vitamins or supplements, specific ones, or like NSAIDs, which are cause risk for bleeding and things like that. There's the whole procedure that they guide you to. They give you a pamphlet, um, which comes in this pocket, and it comes with this Arnicare. I don't know why people pronounce it like, I think it's shown backwards, but it's Arnicare. It does not come with this cream. It doesn't. But it comes with a packet of the things that you should be doing and how you should be taking care of yourself. Um, funny fact is, my procedure is in 3 hours, less than 3 hours. I've been wanting to do this video for a while. So there's things that you have to do before and after. As far as going through this procedure, there's fears of scars and things like that. So it's definitely something that someone should ask themselves, is if that's what they really want to do and how to perceive. Also, less weight, better result. So I started with my consult. My weight was 35, BMI 35. On my pre-op appointment, which was last week, it was the 27th. I was BMI 32.5, and since my consult, I started going to the gym, and I was in the gym every single day. I was there from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. and I was just doing cardio, and I've lost a decent amount. And some people might say like, "Oh, why do you need to do this? Just continue doing what you're doing." So, my first nursing school, that's what I did. But I was never be able to get that body back again, and I understand the reality of it. I'm in my 20s anymore. I'm in my 30s. Bodies change. But there's still that remaining of the saggy, like not the saggy skin, but there's like extra. And in order for me to lose all of it, it would require very strict dieting, guidelines of constant working out, and my job is very stressful. Having that routine schedule is extremely hard, and at the same time, the amount of stress that my job comes with, and medically stress and hormones, there's a lot of things going on. So that's why I decided to go for this, and again, that's my choice. And if you guys are gonna comment below, say negative things, that's okay. Everybody has the right opinion to have their own opinion. That's my opinion. I will never recommend anyone to do this procedure. I think, like I said, it's a personal choice. If you are 100% sure that that's what you want to do, then do your research. Definitely do your research. So at the facility, they do give you, like I said, this packet. They recommend you to buy maxi pads or post pads for the scars, not the scars, the incisions where you're gonna have from the cannula going in, and definitely look into the fact of what's the difference between traditional liposuction and a smart liposuction. It's very different. Also, what I wanted to mention is that this is not a weight loss surgery. It's not. The amount of weight that you're gonna lose, sometimes like 5 pounds, 6 pounds, usually average 5 pounds post liposuction. It's about contouring, um, which me with my the knowledge that I have, medical knowledge, to wrap my mind around. It's kind of like, well, I see people getting this great results. How do they only lose 5 pounds? I haven't gone through it yet, so maybe I'll understand after today. Well, after 6 months. I also bought this foams. I bought it because some people on YouTube recommended to buy it. I'm looking at the time because I have to leave soon. And basically, like I said, if you have any questions, just ask. I have to run. Um, it's your personal choice. Love the way you are. Same thing as I'm not depressed. I'm happy with who I am. It's an extra that I want to get rid of. I'll still continue working out. I'll still continue going to the gym. But it's just hopefully I'll be able to get my definition back with this contouring. Um, any questions? Ask below. Again, thanks for watching.